Oh, here's your Backstage pass.
Right, quiet on the set.
Action!
Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by Chef Lisa Dahl. This is your inside look into culture, curators, and creative artists. And now, your host, Shondra.
Welcome, my VIPs. You've got your Backstage Pass, and you are in. Get ready again for some more behind-the-scenes stories that you've never know about unless, of course, you tuned in here at Sedona's Backstage Pass, live every Saturday at 10 a.m. on mellowmountainradio.com. And I want to take this time to thank my engineer and my producer, who has been wonderful. You know, this is our 50th episode, and I'm absolutely thrilled. Can you imagine? It's almost been a year. And I want to thank Ryan Thompson. Ryan is a fabulous engineer and a wonderful producer. Thank you, Ryan, for everything that you've done throughout this whole time, almost a year, and the 50th episode today. Wonderful. And I also want to thank the owner of mellowmountainradio.com and also KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM. And that would be Chuck Helstein. Chuck, thank you so very, very, very much for all that you do. I really appreciate the opportunity to have had 50 episodes right here. Wow, 50. So right now we're going to go right into the events calendar. I've got lots to tell you about. Alrighty, so I always want to mention the Sedona International Film Festival because they have so much going on. Please visit sedonafilmfestival.com to find out all the wonderful things that they offer. Wonderful indie films at the Mary D. Fisher Theater and also Alice Gill Sheldon Theaters right there in the complex of the Sedona International Film Festival. Well, right now, they've got also a professional theater, live theater performances. Like, for instance, it ran last night. It's going to run all the way through Sunday, April 12th, and it's called Gutenberg, the Musical. And that's going to be happening at Mary Fisher Theater. Highly recommend it. If you want to get the times for tonight and also for tomorrow, visit sedonafilmfestival.com. Then, on the 13th of April, we have the In the Living Room Music Series. The In the Living Room Music Series is still going. This is our fourth actual month of great concerts, and here's the deal. We have Lisa Bell and her special guest, Greg Benedetto, on the 13th at 7 p.m., and here's the kicker. You get to ask questions during their concert because that's what the In the Living Room Music Series is about. It is about asking questions during the concert, not afterwards, during. So mark your calendars this coming Monday, April 13th from 7 to 8:30 at the Mary D. Fisher Theater. Go to sedonafilmfestival.com and you'll find it there on their calendar and you can get your tickets there or at the door. All right, moving on. So April 18th, I'm going to kind of jump now ahead because some of these things you have to buy tickets for in advance. So the Red Rock State Park has an event called Earth Day Celebration at Red Rock State Park, and it is a family-friendly environmental event focusing on local conservation and wildlife. If you want to know more about that, and by the way, that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on April 18th. It includes live wildlife presentations, nature hikes, and educational games. Want to know more? Go to azstateparks.com/red-rock. You can find all the information out. Then we're going to go ahead and still talk about Saturday, April 18th. There's a benefit concert going on at the Old Town Center for the Arts in Cottonwood. It's called We Rock as One, a benefit concert. And it is a major musical event at the Old Town Center for the Arts featuring William Eaton and his ensemble. And this is, I'm going to tell you, William Eaton is incredible. He's a luthier. He makes these electric harp guitars. He is also a mentor, an instructor. He's incredible. This guy's, and he's awesome. This is a performance of world chamber fusion, and it's a sound using unique instruments like I just mentioned, like the electric harp guitar, which he is a luthier for. He makes these things. Okay, remember, it's Old Town Center for the Arts. It's in Cottonwood, Saturday, April 18th at 7 p.m. You can get your tickets at oldtowncenter.org. Then, I'm going to jump way ahead, we have the Arizona Wine Country Arts Village. And this is a large-scale art fair that's going to be hosted by the city of Cottonwood. And this is a really great gathering of art and wine. It's going to be happening at the Old Town Activity Park, located at 187 E. Pima Street in Cottonwood. This is a curated selection of professional artists from the whole region, and it showcases ceramics, glass art, oil painting, and mixed media. So this is going to be a lot of fun, you guys, so go to it. And then another thing is happening from April 23rd through the 26th, and that's the Sedona Yoga Festival. And that is happening at various venues across West Sedona. And it's going to feature workshops, mindful movement sessions, a large-scale gatherings centered on yoga and metaphysical healing. So you can find more information about that at SedonaYogaFestival.com. And finally, I want to mention the Verde Valley Spring Open Studios Tour. And this is a free self-guided event that covers Sedona, Cottonwood, Clarkdale, and Camp Verde. And it is happening from April 24th through the 26th. And get this, over 50 professional artists open their private workspaces to the public for demonstrations and behind-the-scenes looks at their creative processes. This is going to be a lot of fun for those who enjoy art and also maybe those of you who are artists. For more information, visit SedonaArtCenter.org. Oh, right. Now it's time for my first guest. And it is oh, right, because I'm always saying oh, and wow, and amazing, and all these different words that I just keep saying over and over again, like as if I were 17. Although they're saying different words now. You get my drift. I'm happy to have you here, Debbie Johnson, owner of Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash. Thank you for being here. I love your stories. I love how you show up and all the things I get to learn about you that I didn't know. And everybody's going to learn. So thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to talk about, I've already decided, this is we're in the midst of spring break here in Sedona, and it's crowded. And how many of those cars that are on the road stop in? I mean, is this a busy time for you?
It can be a very busy time. It depends on the weather.
Oh, yeah. So, we do get monsoons and all of that. They kind of start in April, maybe late April, something like that. We have had snow in April, but I doubt very seriously we're going to have it this year because we're already hitting the 90s coming up at the end. We started with that in March. It's way too early. Anyway, let's talk about this. So you treat a lot of different cars, custom cars like what?
Well, we treat a lot of high-end cars and remade cars, and we do a lot of restorations of really old, ancient cars.
Ancient cars.
We restored 2 cars called Zimmers.
Okay, I have no idea what a Zimmer is.
A Zimmer is an American-made car.
Yes.
A long time ago, it looked like a gangster car. It has a really long front.
Okay.
And it's low, and it's got a short back, and it's covered with chrome and horns and bells and all kinds of beautiful things. And when they first show up and they've been out in somebody's yard for 15, 20 years, and they bring it in, and you get to do everything to them. Ooh. And when you're finished, they're awesome.
So now you're using the A word, awesome.
Yes.
Because that is like a word that you would say if you saw that. So are these people that just have been, they're collectors of cars, or do you find that maybe it's just a person who just picked that car?
Both. We have one gentleman that's got 7 collectibles,
Ooh.
And we do all of his. And then we have another gentleman who has very incredible special cars.
Like?
Like custom cars that are Corvettes, but they were custom made for him.
Ooh.
And they're very, very special.
In the day, like an old custom car, or now kind of custom car?
Well, in the day changes. I mean, in the day might mean a 1963.
Right.
Or it could mean a 1970 in the day. Because now
True.
we're at 2026 on, so
I know.
in the day can mean different things.
What is the wildest car you've ever seen come in?
The wildest car I've ever seen.
Yeah, like something really crazy, like you go, no way. How do you get in that car? That kind of thing?
Well, a lot of the really sports cars, the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis,
Yeah.
they throw me because the guys that drive these cars in
Yes.
are usually like really tall, really big guys.
And you're like, how do you fit in there?
And, you see them unfold their way out of the car. And it's like,
hysterical.
really? How did you get in there?
So this is more for prestige than comfort, I would say.
Oh, I think once they get in it and they stretch their legs out, they're fine. They're very comfortable.
So these smaller looking cars have that kind of length for them to do that?
They seem to.
Wow.
Because those big long legs go somewhere.
I love it. Have you ever seen a really big guy come out of a tiny little electric car? Does that happen to you?
No.
You see these little, you know what I'm talking about? These little tiny cars.
Yeah, those little miniature cars.
Yeah, like
yeah.
not a mini, because those are small too,
No,
but I'm
not-
talking about
not
the
a
little
mini.
boxed
Yeah, the little ones.
little
You know,
electric.
I saw one came through and we couldn't do it. I mean, it's only got it's almost like a bicycle width. And it came in and we couldn't take him.
You
through the
couldn't
tunnel.
take it because?
Well, it wouldn't fit through the tunnel. He'd get crushed.
Oh my gosh.
So we
yeah, I
just did
guess.
a little hand wash on him, sent him on his way. But
That's
it was
hysterical.
I mean, it was the tiniest thing you ever saw.
That's
And
hysterical.
I kept thinking, you're going to get crushed out there.
Right? Was it a big guy that was driving this?
No, I don't know how they didn't get out of the car.
Oh, okay. They stayed
Oftentimes
in.
people don't get out of the car.
Oh.
Sometimes people come in and they just want to go through the tunnel, which
Mm-hmm.
most people just stay in their cars. But sometimes they come in and they say, would you please drive it through for me? I don't like to go through the tunnel.
Oh, it makes them like claustrophobic or
I
something?
guess, yeah.
I always take a deep breath. I kind of do if I
Yeah.
go through a car. It's just, but you just have to take a deep breath. But the good news is you don't want to go through a car wash tunnel. You have a wonderful boutique. We talked about this
That's right.
last month.
That's right.
What else have you added? I mean, what are you adding? You get things coming in that are going to be even more different and fun? Because I would assume you're going to be
we started
adding.
bringing in lingerie.
Lingerie. Oh, right. And I know you're pulling my leg.
No, I'm
No,
not.
you're not? Okay, that is great. All right, that is really great. So have you ever had anybody take the lingerie, buy it, and then go change into it and drive out?
Well, I know they bought it. I don't know what they do in the restroom. Our cameras don't go that far.
Right. Wouldn't that be something, though?
Oh, no, I don't think I want to see that.
That would be right, but that would be a moment. The
Yes.
gal comes in, she buys some lingerie, she leaves wearing it. It's wonderful. Gets in her Lamborghini and goes.
There you go.
Do you have women that own these big cars, or is it
Yes.
really?
Yeah.
Here in Sedona.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
More women come in sports cars than men.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, this is the town of little old ladies.
Oh.
And they're not even from Pasadena.
Yeah, that's it.
But little old ladies like me,
You, little old lady. You should see this woman. She's absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, where's the runway? That's what I want to say. We should have a runway in the station here. But I'm just saying. So more women actually have
Yes.
sports cars. I mean, a Lamborghini is a big deal.
It is.
That's a very expensive car, I might
It's
add.
a very expensive car.
So
Yeah.
are we seeing younger women owning these kinds of
No.
cars?
Well, sometimes younger women do come in them, but the majority of them are older women. They live here.
Maybe they like inherited from their husbands, or I mean,
I don't think so. I think they buy them for themselves because
Well,
it feels so
loving that.
good.
Ooh, that is good. I like it.
Especially like the little Mercedes sports cars.
Yes.
Yes, and they
That's cool.
enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Have you had any affiliation with the car club?
I have, yes. Mm-hmm. They're very nice people.
They
very nice
are.
people.
Gary Glenn is a part of that, and others. And
They actually let me come and speak to them before.
Oh,
And it was
yeah.
great fun. I enjoyed it. I was a member for quite a while. And then I just got so busy. I just couldn't keep up with it all. But they're beautiful, nice people.
Really lovely.
But, they mostly do their own. When you're in the car club, your car is very special to you.
Yes.
So they mostly do their own cleaning.
Because they will not let anyone touch their cars.
Right. And you got to respect that,
Well, I guess so. Yeah. Dev Ross and I spoke to them about, interestingly enough, it was very different. Gary calls and he goes, can you talk about resilience and maybe reinvention? Like at the car club? Sure. I have no idea why we're talking about this here, but we're going to do it. And it was really fun. And they're lovely, lovely people.
They are. They're so nice.
When you were a part of all of that, did you go to all the car shows? And what car did you have that you were sporting around in at that time?
Oh, at that time I wasn't sporting around in any particular car.
How many cars do you have? I'm
right
curious.
now?
Yes.
Oh, I only have 2 cars.
2. Okay.
Yes.
And how many did you have before when Bill was with us?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I think the most we ever had were like 9. But, we lived in a lot of different places at one time, so we had cars in a lot
Here
of
and there
different
and
places.
everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember the story about Bill losing his car.
Oh, he did.
That was
He
crazy.
He lost one of them, yes.
And what's shocking about that, it wasn't an inexpensive car.
No, it was not.
It's like, how do you tell your wife, honey, I've lost my car, right? Instead of our car?
I wasn't around at the time.
Oh, you weren't?
No.
What would
that
you
was
have
a
said?
different wife. That was a different wife.
Don't you want to be a fly on that wall? To go like, how do you tell your wife or your spouse?
A lot was going on. It was right after 9/11, and the whole world was coming apart, and the stock market crashed, and he was traveling constantly all over the world and trying to pull things together, and just left it someplace in some state, in some carved place, and could not remember where he left it.
Unbelievable. Okay, so now I have another question for you about cars. What was the most shocking car that came in? You've been doing this for many years. And so, are you kidding me? We're going to wash that car? Did you have that kind of car come in one time or another?
Not that it was so fabulous of a car, because we can wash any fabulous car.
I mean,
It's great.
unfabulous is what I'm talking about.
I had a lady drove her car from Montana or Wyoming, way up there, with a Falcon in the car.
A Falcon in the car?
Loose.
What?
Yes.
So the Falcon is like, oh, this is not good. Did she leave it in there and then you took it in the tunnel? Did she drive it?
No, she wanted it cleaned inside.
No way.
I explained to her, my crew can't, we can do a lot of biohazard, we can't do that. I don't have the necessary clothing, equipment, uniforms for them to risk that. I could not do that.
So that would have been. So she takes the Falcon out of the car. She wasn't expecting you to have it in the car where you were detailing it.
No. When she showed up at the car wash, the Falcon was not in the car.
Oh,
but she explained to us that she had brought her Falcon, and it's
poop everywhere.
I said, was it in a cage? And she said, well, no, of course not. And I'm looking at the car, and it's like, oh dear, no, we can't do this.
Let's talk about that for a second. That's a harrowing situation. You can't just go in and clean that, right?
No,
you have to be in different kind of clothing, gloves, the whole thing. Wow.
Mask.
Oh my gosh.
Everything.
Okay.
Anytime somebody brings in a car that's got any kind of biohazard, and everything's a biohazard, but some of them you can handle and some of them you can't handle. Okay,
so listen up, everybody. Do not be bringing your car in when you've had loose birds in your car. It's like, I don't expect that. Wow.
Or people will come in and they will have a blanket in their car that's full of fleas.
Oh, jeez.
No, we can't do that.
Oh, my gosh. What do you do with that? Good grief. All right. Have you ever had anybody pull up in an outfit that was like a costume or something? For instance, have you ever cleaned Santa's car? Like Santa drives in?
Yes, I've cleaned Santa's car.
So Santa stays in the car?
I enjoyed cleaning Santa's car.
Exactly.
If I do a really good job, does that get me 2 presents?
Yeah, that's it. So the thing about that is Santa doesn't always come in on the sleigh. Sometimes he parks the sleigh and then drives his Corvette in.
Absolutely. You never know.
Have you ever had teenagers come in with just complete jalopies and they go like, honey, this isn't even worth cleaning? Have you ever had that?
I have told people that their car really wasn't worth doing everything they thought I could. I'm not a magician.
There you go. It's like, no.
We can clean it. We can make it look better, but we can't. Can you make this look new? Nope.
Right? Oh my gosh. Have you ever owned a jalopy?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I wonder how many people listening know the word jalopy. I have. I've owned. Yeah.
I had an original Willys Jeep that was much older than me.
Okay.
And it was the kind of Jeep that when you would stop, it had a linkage problem.
Oh.
You remember they used to have the 3 levers on the floor, but then they also had the shifter on the column.
Oh yeah.
For the primary first gears, and then they had the overdrive, underdrive. I don't know what kind of drive.
Okay,
on
don't
the floor.
know that, but yes.
But so the linkage would slip when you stopped.
Oh,
so
no.
you'd stop at a red light, and you couldn't put it in first. So what I would have to do is I would have my oldest son hold up the emergency brake while I got out of the car, climbed under the car, put the linkage in gear, jumped back in the car as the light was turning. He jumps over, I push in the clutch, and we're off.
Are you saying that this would happen often in your drive? You have to,
Yes.
How many times would that happen on a drive?
Anytime you stop.
Oh, my gosh, that's outrageous. Oh, my God. Okay,
You
you
didn't want
beat
to
me.
stop. You didn't want to
You
stop.
beat me. You beat me on that one. I had a jalopy or two, but that one really does take the cake.
That
Yeah.
was the linkage problem was not so good.
Oh, my God, that's hysterical. I don't even, that makes me nervous just thinking about it. I know how to drive a stick shift. It's been a while. But I had a Toyota Celica 1971. It was in that first run, I think. And shout out to my husband who gave me that car. And it was first, he taught me how to use the stick shift, which was daunting as it was. It took me almost 8 months to learn how to do that confidently, And I have to say, eventually everything went wrong with that car. I even wrote a song called Rock and Roll Car. Because I kept bringing it in, for service. And the guy looked at me and he goes, the only thing that's good about that car is your radio. And I thought, oh my, that's funny. And so I started calling it my rock and roll car because of that. And then I wrote a song about it. You know how I did it? I wrote a list of everything that was wrong with the car.
Oh my gosh, and you made the song?
I did. I did. I'll have to send it to you.
Oh, I would love to hear it.
It's pretty funny. I've sung. I still sing that song. It's hysterical. Did it?
I had a 1965 Ford Galaxy when I was a single mom with 3 kids going to school.
Okay.
And working all these jobs and being crazy. And everything would go wrong with it. And I would go, and, I was kind of cute, like we all were when we were that age. And I would go into the car parts store and I would say, my car is making this kind of a sound, and I would generate what I thought was the sound. And the guys would just look at me because it was the hippie days, we weren't always dressed as we dress now. So they would look at me and they would laugh and they would say, well, that sounds like your blah blah. And I said, well, what would it cost to fix it? And they'd tell me, I said, oh, well, I don't have it. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have any money. What do the parts cost? Well, the parts are going to cost $27. I have $27. And they say, you're going to do it yourself? I said, yes. But could you give me a copy of that page in the book you have back there so I can read about it?
Oh, my gosh.
And they always would. They always would.
And you did this yourself?
I did.
Oh,
all of them.
Incredible.
I lost my motor mounts, and they froze, broken. And I go in and I say, my car sounds like this. Ka-choom, 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 and it jumps. And they said, your motor mounts are shot. You got to get new motor mounts. Well, of course, I couldn't afford motor mounts. But they cost about like $12 each. So I could afford that. Well, it was a huge task. And the pieces were frozen. And so I jacked up the car. And I put railroad ties and tree stumps and stacks of bricks and everything so that I could, underneath the engine so I could release the engine and let the car drop down.
Oh, my gosh.
So I could get the motor mounts changed. But the motor mounts were frozen. So I couldn't, I only weighed 95 pounds. I couldn't unfreeze them. So what I did, I took a big crescent wrench and I would put them on the boat. And thank you, God, for taking care of this poor little woman, because I would stand on top of the motor and I would jump on the crescent wrench. What? And I would do that over and over and over again. And the trick to making it work is you have to yell out a very loud curse word when you do it.
Of course you did
and
that.
Eventually it will break loose.
That is good. A little bit of advice for those of you ladies who are younger or maybe older and you want to do this by yourself.
Don't do it.
How do you trust that? You got it right. I would be so flipped out. See, this is not me. I go like, please help me. Now if it was a technical kind of techie thing, maybe I've done a couple of things that people go, you're going to do that? Like, yes, I am. Well, I can't afford that,
I had guys that volunteered and offered to help.
Well, of course they did. You were cute.
But then it was a matter of, I can take care of myself and my kids by myself.
Of course.
I can do this.
The next time you are on, we're going to have to talk about that part of you, because I know for a fact you are like that woman, the woman that goes, no, I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to rely. Because I tell my students, I go like, listen, no one's coming. Yes. Nobody's coming, especially the women, young girls. No one's coming, honey. You got to do it yourself. I'm not saying everything. That doesn't mean that not everything, but it is good to know how to do things. And I tip my hat to you, because fixing a car? I mean, had you ever done anything like this with your dad or something? Or No. Unbelievable.
The most I'd ever done was redline my Beatles tires.
Okay, what does that mean? I'm not sure what that means.
Well, you take a special kind of a crayon and you
okay. Now I understand.
Instead of a white wall, you have a red line.
Okay, now I get it. It's artsy. Okay, yes, no. All right, so was that the first car that you had, was a Volkswagen?
Yes.
Okay, the long, tall stick?
It was, I could take anybody off the line. But after going into second gear, the race was over.
Okay.
That's as far as I would go.
Did you ever do any racing? See,
no,
I wouldn't be surprised.
Just as far as second gear.
With that car.
When you sit at the red light and everybody's...
Yes.
I could beat them all. But then they came second gear, and of course, there was no more to give.
Oh, my gosh. So we didn't go up to the fourth gear. No. That is funny. Oh, yes, those jalopy stories.
I mounted. Oh, we're out of time.
Can you believe it? We are out of time.
Out of time.
I love it when you come. And I love finding out all these cool things about you that I never... this is what I love about the show. Everybody who's listening, you get to find out about people behind the scenes. And Debbie, I cannot get over what an incredible woman you are. So thank you for being here again. I'm going to see you next month. Can't wait to talk to you about all the good things that are going on after the big, I know we're done with the remodel and all that stuff, and that turned out great. What's next for Debbie Johnson? We're going to find out. You guys stay with me, and thank you, Debbie, for being here with me today.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
You can taste it in every bite. For over 30 years, Chef Lisa Dahl has redefined what it means to dine in Sedona, serving soulful, handcrafted cuisine inspired by love, artistry, and community. From the wood-fired kitchens of Mariposa to the couture flair of Butterfly Burger, every experience is elevated, every ingredient intentional. To learn more about Lisa Dahl and the Dahl restaurants, please visit cheflisadahl.com.
Need a clean car fast? Come to Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash. We'll have you sparkling and back on the road in minutes. Whether you're after a quick shine or a deep clean, you'll get top quality service, eco-friendly soaps, and smiles all around. Drive up, shine up, and feel good, all without slowing down your day, and look like a star in your car. Located in West Sedona on Highway 89A. For more information, visit cleanerquickercarwash.com.
Here's more of Backstage Pass with Shondra, brought to you by Chef Lisa Dahl.
I'm so excited. I always am with my guests, but today I am thrilled to introduce a good friend of mine, somebody who is a community leader. He volunteers everywhere with his talents and his time. I'm so excited to have you, Larry Kane, of Larry Kane Photography. Thank you for being here with me, Larry.
My pleasure.
So exciting. I'm thrilled. So, Larry, I've got so many questions for you. First of all, I know that you've been a photographer forever, and how long has it been since the very first time that you picked up a camera? I want to know.
I picked up a camera probably when I was 7 or 8 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
I had my own darkroom at 9.
Oh,
it came in a suitcase, and I used to take over the bathroom.
Oh, my gosh.
Put tape up over the windows.
Oh, that's great. At 9?
At 9.
Wow.
And by 12 or 13, I was shooting semi-professionally. Jobs came up. By the time I got in high school, I was shooting parties, bar mitzvahs, sweet 16.
By the time you were what age?
14, 15.
14? So you're actually getting hired?
Yes.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
and shot last weddings and major parties last couple of years in high school and all through college. Put myself through college shooting photography.
Wow.
And
I'm impressed. This is great. When did you get the bug? When did it get you?
I don't know that I ever didn't have it. I mean, I've always enjoyed it. Now, my dad was an amateur photographer, and after World War II, went into the retail camera business.
Oh, this is where it came from.
Right.
You were around it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
my dad was a mechanical photographer. He never saw it as an art form, never did anything with it, but was in the retail business for 47 years.
Oh my gosh. So he knew all about cameras.
Yes.
So you grew up with this. You were never shy having your picture taken?
No.
Did he do? My dad was an amateur photographer, and he used to pose us. So we would dress up, my sister and I. My mom would work on this. They were very theatrical. They were involved in the theater and everything. That's where I grew up, in the back scenes of the theater. But so here they dress us up, and I have no problem with pictures because I was weaned on that. My dad was always taking pictures of us.
And certainly the same in our entire family. Somebody always had a camera in their hand.
Love that. It's funny. I could never really understand why people were not good with taking pictures. I can smell a camera in the room. And I go like, there's a camera in the room. Okay, be careful. It's like so funny to me. So, all right. So then you put yourself through college. Where did you go to college?
Illinois Institute of Technology.
Were you born in Chicago?
Born in Chicago, grew up in the suburbs. Went to school at Illinois Tech, and at the time, in the late 50s and early 60s, IIT was really the MIT of the Midwest.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
premier engineering school. And why engineering? Because in the late 50s, everybody that could became an engineer. Everyone was thinking about the space program, just the way we're thinking about it today. But
Okay.
at that time, it was
Before we landed on the moon?
a decade before we landed on the moon.
Oh, yeah. So this was really on everyone's mind for
Right.
sure. So it wasn't civil engineering, was it?
No.
What kind of engineering?
I went into college as a chemical engineer,
Okay.
and near the end of my first year, I realized I was never going to be able to pass organic chemistry. Just did not understand it.
Okay.
So I did what most students do. I looked around. How can I use all the credits that I've taken towards some other degree?
Okay.
And the degree I found was metallurgical engineering.
Slowly. Medical what?
Metallurgical engineering.
Okay.
It's a study of metals, the physical aspects, the atomic aspects. And at IIT, metallurgical engineering was closer to atomic physics than it was extractive metallurgy. I've never worked in a steel mill.
Ah.
I mean,
Okay.
and you think
Got it.
metallurgical engineer, that's the first reaction is, okay, you graduated, went to work in a steel mill. Nope, never came near ferrous metals.
So why that one? I'm just curious. Did that have to do with the whole NASA thing? And did it have to do with that's why you picked that kind of engineering?
No, I went in as a chemical engineer. It was simply
Okay.
that I wasn't going to be able to deal with some of the courses. So picked a different engineering degree.
I see.
And metallurgical engineering was I could use the credits I already had, and the rest of the curriculum looked far more interesting. Didn't even know about it until I got to college.
It's amazing. So you graduated.
Right, and went to work almost immediately at a research institute literally across the street from the university.
Oh, that is very cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
It was an unbelievable opportunity because in the grand scheme of things, they didn't hire engineers with just bachelor degrees. This was really a very high-end research institute.
So did you get your master's? Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
No.
I eventually got a master's, but not in engineering. Got a master's in business.
Okay.
But they hired me. I think they needed someone at the low end, and the guys I interviewed with, I think I impressed them with, I had far more knowledge of medals than they expected from just a normal senior. I mean, I really appreciated the degree, understood what I was doing, and ended up at IIT for almost 5 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
And there's another part of the story which is important. We had contracts from NASA and the Navy, a lot of military contracts, a lot of commercial contracts as well. And my boss spent most of his time writing proposals for these research grants. And that's what they were. My job was to manage 3 or 4 of them at any one point in time. And these projects simply had numbers.
So researching what?
Well, one of the projects, and I'm picking this one specifically for a reason, was to develop a coating system to go on top of high-temperature materials, high-temperature metals. Okay. How do you protect the metal from burning away? And there was a fair amount of that, and the group that I was in had a lot of experience in ceramics and metalloids, and that was the area. And over a 5-year period, I really became a good expert at high-temperature materials.
My goodness. So how long were you doing this? How long?
About 5 years.
Okay, and then you move into business. What
No.
kind of... No. Okay, tell me.
But I want to finish the story because it's important. This is an important story.
All right.
This project had a number. And we finished the project. We accomplished what we wanted, was to develop an ablative material on high-temperature materials like molybdenum. And that was fine. A half a dozen years later, I found out that the system we developed was used for the rocket nozzle liners on the Saturn V.
Wow. What a thing.
So I get to call myself a rocket scientist.
There you go.
Yeah.
I love it.
Never saw a Saturn V at that point.
So you're not going to say like, what? You think I'm a rocket scientist?
That's right.
Yeah, you're going to be like, I am
Actually,
a rocket scientist.
Worked on something that ended up on the Saturn V.
How cool is that?
Yes.
I love this. Okay, so now when you moved into more business, what were you doing in that business? Were you doing photography? Did you ever move into that part of it?
Once I went to work full-time as an engineer, I literally stopped shooting for myself, stopped shooting every weekend. Just wasn't enough time.
Okay.
There were babies in the way. Business was in the way. IIT was a demanding work environment.
Okay.
Every summer, I ended up going to summer school, taking some specialized class. I mean, I spent one summer at MIT.
Oh, wow.
On the East Coast. So, I mean, we did nothing but sit on the beach in Boston and eat clam chowder. I went every morning, went to class at MIT. Fun times.
That's good.
But jumping way ahead, had the opportunity to go to graduate school. Many years later, I was working for General Electric. And GE had a policy that they would give you 4 hours a week off to go to graduate school.
Ooh, that worked out perfect for you.
And pay for it. Well, and so I ended up getting accepted by the executive program at the University of Chicago. Which met once a week for a full day, but alternating Fridays and Saturdays. So my 4 hours every 2 weeks turned into Friday. So I got Friday off every other week.
Beautiful.
And GE paid the freight for the whole thing. It was fabulous.
That's wonderful. So now let's talk about your photography, because I know, and I have to mention, you've been married to Fern for how long? I love the woman. She's awesome.
38 years. 38
years. Congratulations. Excellent. 38 years. Both of you were married before. And I think you have a phenomenal story. You know what I love about talking to you is the other day we were at a strategic planning meeting for the Historical Society because we both served together on the board. And in the midst of lunch, you mentioned that you had a coffee plantation in Hawaii. Like, who would have ever known this? If I'd been at that meeting, I never would have known this about Larry. I'm just saying. So
yes.
For how long did you do that? Or have that?
I'm trying to think of the days. 1988, Fern and I took a trip to Hawaii and fell in love with the Big Island.
Okay.
We bought a condo, and that lasted for a couple of years. Then we started looking around for something more permanent and found a gorgeous house on 5 acres of land.
Wow.
With a spectacular view of the ocean.
Oh,
Literally bought it on the spot. And after a couple more years, I found I was spending thousands of dollars a year weed whacking the lower part of the property.
okay.
And one of the people I knew in Hawaii said, put in coffee. Everybody else does. Put in coffee. And he says, and here's the guy to call. And it was one of the locals who had a degree in botany, and he had about 100 acres, and he made a living off of coffee, but he also put in coffee orchards for others. So he put in a coffee orchard for us.
Incredible.
So on the bottom half of our property was almost 1,800 coffee trees.
So, of course, you didn't run it yourself. You hired someone to run it.
No, I actually ran it.
Oh, my goodness.
Coffee doesn't take a lot of attention. There's maintenance that has to be done on the coffee trees, and that was kind of my job. At the time, we were going to Hawaii 3-4 times a year, so whenever we'd get there, I'd spend a day, 2 days, 3 days in the coffee orchard.
And what did you do with all this coffee besides drink?
No. It's not that simple.
Okay.
We were coffee farmers.
Ah.
We raised the cherries. The bean is inside the cherry. So we simply raised coffee beans, and the pickers worked for us, and then we sold the coffee to a processor. And that's the last I saw of it.
Wow. Did you ever have some of that?
Oh, absolutely.
You had your own label and the whole thing?
Yes. At one point, we had a label. It was called Second City Coffee, after Chicago.
Love it. Of course.
We never sold that coffee. We gave it away.
Oh.
I mean, that was the fun part, right?
That's really cool. That's very cool.
But over a 12, 13-year period, the plantation paid for itself. I mean, we spent a lot of money putting it in. I had to pay workers to pick coffee. There was all kinds of incidental things that came along. After 12 or 13 years, it kind of broke even, and that was we were happy about that. I mean, if you want to make money off of coffee, you got to have at least 100 acres.
Incredible. I would never have known this. See, those of you listening who know Larry, you probably didn't know this story. If you did, good for you, because nobody else knew. All right, so now let's get to the photography. What kind of photography have you done, and what do you like best?
I did all forms of commercial photography from early teen years through my mid-20s, and then literally stopped shooting professionally, just family, education, graduate school, a lot of things got in the way.
How long did you work as a commercial artist? I mean, a photographer. How long? How many years?
15 years.
15, and you're making a living at this?
No. Knock on wood, I never had to earn a living as a photographer.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I always shot, always enjoyed shooting, but graduated as a degreed engineer, always had a good job as an engineer. That was my professional focus. Went back to school, got a graduate degree in business administration from University of Chicago. Went on to managerial positions at General Electric.
Okay.
So that was the professional track.
That was the business part, and then you just enjoyed photography, which is lovely.
Right.
That's wonderful.
And I had the good fortune, jumping way ahead, to basically retire from all W-2 activity at 58.
Oh my gosh, Larry, that's brilliant. Yeah. Did you strategize that, or was this?
No, it happened. It happened to be there one day. I was running a business that I had started with venture capital money. 10 years into that, there was an opportunity to step away.
Okay.
And I took it.
Someone bought it? Is that what happened?
No. It was just, there was a number of things that came up, and one of our board members said, "You want to retire?" I thought he was joking. I said, "Good idea." And literally within a month, I was retired, at which point I said, "You know what? I think I want to go back and do more with photography." Oh. And from that point on, my focus was, yes, some commercial work, but mostly portraits.
Okay, and again, not being paid for it.
For the most part.
Okay.
But there were some serious commissions in the middle of all that.
Good.
But when we got to Sedona, I said, I can't earn enough as a photographer to make a living as a photographer. So forget it. I'm just going to enjoy it. And if there are not-for-profit organizations in Sedona, which there are many, any of them need photography, I'll shoot for them.
And I have to say, you are such a giver. Larry is on the spot. If you ask him for pictures, like many of my students that I coach, I have sent to you for headshots, because these kids they've never had a headshot. They're maybe now graduated or getting ready to graduate high school. And I mean, I think there's got to be like 6 or 7 kids I've sent to you.
Yes.
And you so generously have given them wonderful pictures that they can use. And your work is fabulous. You've worked with Camilla Ross, which is Emerson Collaborative Theater. And also you worked for, the Sedona Heritage Museum, of course.
Red Earth Theater
with Kate Hawks. Yeah, big shout out to Kate and Camilla.
And the Sedona Symphony.
And you've even come out and you've photographed Tom and I. You have photographed the Dead Quilters Society. Over and over and over again. And I just want to thank you. You also were the on-set photographer for High School Detention, the musical. What was that like for you?
New experience. Not shooting that environment, but shooting it specifically for a motion picture. And
did you enjoy it? It was long.
Yes.
It was long.
It was 10 days of 12-hour days. And I got to the end of every day and was exhausted. Not that I was working 100% of the time, but you have to pay attention.
Yes, you do.
And that's part of being the on-set photographer, is you got to keep your eye on what's going on. You never know when you're going to have to jump up, take pictures.
That's right.
And that's what I did. I had a great time with it.
And I have to say, it was wonderful to have you with us. And your grandson, you have a lot of them. You have a lot of grandchildren and great-grandchildren, with one on the way. Zach Kane is fabulous. He did the documentary, he shot it, he edited it, and it's brilliant. I have to say, he did a great job, and I want you to know, we have used that as our trailer to the movie, and more interest in this movie and that documentary has really helped us.
And Zach is a degreed videographer.
He's wonderful.
Media person.
Yes.
From ASU.
Yeah, and I have to say, and it's Kane Photography. Correct?
Correct.
And I think it's Kane Productions, LLC.
Yes.
That's what it is, Kane Productions. A big shout out to you, Zach. You're amazing. If you want somebody to do a movie or a video, that's the person you want to hire. He's in Phoenix, and look it up. It's Kane Photography, LLC. He's brilliant. So now I have to ask you, because I cannot believe it, but we are like almost running out of time. We have some time yet, but you got to tell me this great story. Can't make it too long, the great, wonderful story, wedding story about Fern's close friend. Go for it.
Fern, best friend at the time, she has since passed away, was living in California. We were in Chicago. She was going through a divorce and asked us, going through a divorce after 20 years of marriage. Asked us to come out for the weekend just to spend time with her, to which we said yes. And I was sitting in her living room on a Sunday morning, and her son, who was about 12 or 13 at the time, said, "Would you like to see my mother's wedding album?" To which I said yes, for a bunch of reasons. 1, I enjoy looking at pictures. Mm-hmm. 2, Fern stood up for that wedding. She was one of the bridesmaids. 3, Fern met her first husband at that wedding, because he stood up for one of the grooms, for the groom. And I knew that Fern's parents were at that wedding. I mean, they knew each other. So Mark hands me the wedding album. I flipped through the first couple of pages, and I said, "I took these pictures 20 years ago."
Can you believe that? That is the coolest. I happen to know this story. I mean, I'm going to cheat a little bit here by telling you this I'm going to be truthful rather, is that this is a great story.
Well, Fern talks about meeting her first and last husband on the same day.
Is that outrageous? And it's the truth.
It's the truth.
Okay, so now I know that you've been doing this for some time, and you've done all different kinds of photography. Tell me about the most famous person. This I don't know. I don't know this. I can't wait to find out. And then you could just tell us where it was. Did you met them, or did you take their pictures?
No. A little bit of a lead up. There is a wonderful story. In my late teens and early 20s, I was working for 2 different wedding production organizations in Chicago. One was called Weddings Incorporated. And another one, the name escapes me. Remember the guy that ran it. In any event, he had a band, and the drummer in the band was the Chicago manager for Capitol Records.
Holy smokes.
Right. I mean, this is what he did on the side. He played the drums.
Okay.
He called me up on a Tuesday or Wednesday and said, "What are you doing this weekend?" And I said, "I'm not busy." I said, "Why?" He said, "They have a photographer that was supposed to come to Chicago but disappointed him. Am I available to shoot Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all day?" I said, "Sure. Why?" He said, "The Rat Pack is coming to town. It's not being advertised. I need you to follow Frank Sinatra around for 3 days."
Oh, my gosh.
True story.
That's outrageous.
I lived at the Ambassador East for 3 days.
What was he like? Was he a nice guy?
A nice guy. All of them were. Dean Martin was with him.
Sammy Davis Jr.?
No, Sammy wasn't there.
Let's see, who else was it? I'm trying to remember who it was. It was Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra. Sure. There's one more. Who is it? Not Tony Bennett.
The guy that was married to the Kennedy.
Oh, gosh. I know someone's out there going, they're yelling the name.
Right.
I'm trying to remember.
But it was basically these three guys and a couple of others.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure to deal with these guys.
Were they drunk?
No.
Never.
They were there for some business function, which I don't know what it was. I just don't remember what it was.
You know why I asked this question? Because every time you saw them, they had a drink and a cigarette in their hands.
He had a cigarette in there. Everyone had a cigarette in their hand except me. I never smoked.
That's true.
But basically, my job was to follow them around, take pictures, which were used for PR purposes internally. But the press, the general press, never knew that they were in town.
Unbelievable. Well, I can't believe this, but we are all the way finished with this interview. And I would just say thank you, Larry, for taking your time out. You're busy serving all over Sedona. And I just want to thank you for being with me and for also serving on the board of directors of the Historical Society and also on Sedona Symphony. And looking forward to the concert coming up here in a few. And look him up, okay? Larry Kane Photography. Is there a website people can...
I'm part of the Kane Photography website, but there's also a Larry Kane Photography website.
And is it LarryKanePhotography.com?
Yes.
All right. LarryKanePhotography.com. Check him out. If you're coming to Sedona, you'll find him somewhere around Sedona, always running around and serving his community. Thank you, Larry, so much.
Thank you, Shondra. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, it's fun to have you. You guys stay with me. I'll be right back.
You've explored the trails, stood in awe of the red rocks. Now, discover how Sedona became Sedona. The Sedona Heritage Museum tells the story of Red Rock country, from ancient cultures to today's vibrant community. It's interactive, family-friendly, and open year-round, indoors and out. Sedona Heritage Museum, preserving and sharing the soul of Red Rock country. Plan your visit at sedonamuseum.org or call 928-282-7038.
Take a deep breath, then let it go. At Sedona's New Day Spa, your escape begins the moment you arrive. Enjoy luxurious massages, rejuvenating facials, and native-inspired body treatments. Every moment is designed to restore balance and renew your spirit. Voted Sedona's Best Day Spa, this is more than self-care. It's your sanctuary. Book your experience today at SedonaNewDaySpa.com or call 928-282-7502.
When your project demands precision, experience, and trust, turn to Sefton Engineering Consultants. From expert civil engineering to construction management, we deliver real-world solutions that stand the test of time. With over 30 years in the business, Luke Sefton's team is committed to getting your project done right, on time, and on budget. Sefton Engineering Consultants. Reliable, experienced, personal. Learn more at SeftonEngineeringConsultants.com. Here's more of Backstage Pass with Shondra, brought to you by Chef Lisa Dahl.
Well, I'll tell you what. I love my guests. They're fabulous. I always love them. They're fantastic, and they get great stories. And it just goes on and on. Oh, do you hear that? You know what that means? It's time for my shameless Shondra spot. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on something that I haven't shared with many people. I am writing a book. That's right. As if I wasn't busy enough, I'm going to write a book. You know, I've been in the music industry, making a living at music and also acting, because I do a lot of theater. That was always my first love, but music and theater and songwriting and, right? So I'm writing a book. I've been doing this since I was 16, all right? And that was just a few years ago, right? So I've got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I really want this to be a homage to all of you who are listening who are musicians, to all the musicians and the artists that do this for a living and what they go through. I know, I did it. I worked as a single for many, many years. I started off doing that. Matter of fact, I was so young, I had to actually leave the lounges that I was working in San Diego during my breaks because I was not 21. I was more like 18 or 19. So that was very interesting. My mother was a talent agent. She was the very first female talent agent in San Diego. And of course, her standards were very, very high. I had to audition for her before she would even send me out on auditions to see if I could land anything as a single, which I did. The first one was for an entire year, working one of the Reuben chains, I should say Far West chains, which had Reuben's restaurants. For those of you still in San Diego, if you're listening, you know Reuben's. So anyway, it just goes on and on. I've worked on barges. I've worked on skyscrapers, literally on scaffolding. I have worked in bars and clubs in Vegas and Reno. It just goes on and on and on. I'm lucky to say, and I'm happy to say actually, I never worked a dive. Well, maybe once. It was in a bowling alley. All right, that one was rough. Almost had money stolen from me, so that was very interesting. So these are the kind of stories that I like hearing from other people, and these are the stories that I'm going to write about. All of my own behind-the-scenes stories, so be looking for it. I haven't come up with a title quite yet, so I can't tell you, but I thought I would just give you a little bit of a tease that this book is going to happen. And in the meantime, please visit my website, shondramusic.com, because I will be making the announcement there. Of course, if you're listening to my podcast every Saturday at 10 a.m. or on Spotify and Apple and et cetera, you'll hear about it there. So just wanted to give you that little teaser. I'm writing a book. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Remember, if you miss a show, you can always visit Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora Radio, and of course YouTube, and I will be there. And this is the 50th episode of Sedona's Backstage Pass. Thanks for being here to celebrate that. I want to thank my sponsors, Sedona Heritage Museum, Sefton Engineering, Cleaner Quicker Car Wash, Sedona New Day Spa, and my presenting sponsor, Chef Lisa Dahl and the Dahl Restaurant Group. Without you guys, couldn't be doing this. Thank you so much. And also a big shout out again to Ryan Thompson for all of your talents. Ryan, thank you so much for being my producer and engineer, and also the owner of MellowMountainRadio.com and KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM, and that's Chuck Helstein. Chuck, thank you for everything. All right, I'm signing off right now. Be sure to have your VIP pass ready again, and I will be here waiting for you. All right, take care. Have a wonderful week.